do a lot of foul shit. Like behind the scenes, he would do some foul shit. Like hating on, like doing things with people I'd done business with that he done business with. He would say shit that I was like, he said that to you?
Right.
I was like, yeah, it's all right. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, niggas don't know what they like till they see somebody with it. So they want the girls after you're done with them.
Yeah, leftovers.
Yeah.
You take your leftovers. A lot of time on leftovers.
The new baby oil.
It should start looking gray if you ain't got nothing on it.
It's got the new baby oil, bro.
This ain't baby oil.
Nigga, you ran through 8,000 jars of them in prison.
Man.
You know what I mean? He was Ashy Larry.
Relax.
I mean,
I still got everybody looking.
Everybody know ain't no party like a Diddy party, so.
Yeah, that's what's up.
That's why I'm gonna be going to the puffy parties. You can hold you from the front and the back at the same time. Talking about.
And I'm gonna tell you right now, me and Dub C ain't never been to a Diddy party, motherfucker.
Like an R-A-P-E-R, got so many essays.
What's happening with Puffy? I know you're not really tapped in, but what
the last thing I saw was like a guy there. He was like, yo, he like pushed me into the truck. It really hurt. And he sounded me. Like he sounded me. I was like, yo, look, I could find other things to do for money.
Did you see the video?
I could find other things to do for money. But I'm not sure I can say that for money. Like somebody pushed
How much is this guy trying to get?
I don't know. Like it's a simple suit situation, but it's like
20 mil. I can say it.
You still had to black his face out. You still had to mimic his voice because he's like,
but his voice wasn't even that different.
And a little deeper. I was like, almost like, no, that's you, young buck.
Yo,
I almost felt like it was him. I almost knew who it was. You know what I mean? I was like, nah, that's fucking trying to do money right.
Yo, you can't say that dudes are having sex with other dudes, bro. That might come for you.
Who was always anti-Diddy and was always speaking about Diddy as a problematic person was 50 Cent. And it turns out that it's just been announced that he's created a docu-series on Netflix. I can't wait to see this. The other end of that, every person who has tried to speak out about this, who has tried to speak out about the industry, the type of people that are controlling the industry, the attacks that people face from the media if they try to speak out, is always the same. They're called crazy. And an example of one such individual who went through those sorts of attacks is the actor Orlando Brown. He was on Disney, and I remember everyone telling us that he was totally insane and deranged when he was saying a lot of things that at the time sounded crazy, particularly about Diddy. Take a listen.
The requirement is you gotta say no to Diddy. If it's new booty in the building, you know he gonna get it.
don't take your girlfriend to a Diddy party.
You can take the but he wants you.
Diddy, to me, is the fall guy. We are still seeing a major effort to protect the big names, just like with Jeff.
In a shocking power move, 50 Cent is gearing up to expose every celebrity connected to Diddy as the legal storm intensifies. Armed with a vault of damning evidence, he's prepared to deliver names straight to prosecutors. Diddy now stands at the center of explosive accusations in New York, including sex trafficking and racketeering threatening to destroy the legacy of his legendary parties and million-dollar deals. The list of names cuts across music, film, sports, and fashion icons who once flooded his lavish white parties may soon face the courtroom. 50 Cent declares the truth is coming, and it runs deeper than anyone imagined. What began as online shots has erupted into undeniable proof, and the reckoning is about to begin.
Persons in entertainment to really call out people and kind of have that authority in that, to be able to call people out. I mean, which is pretty amazing. You're kind of in some ways draining the swamp of Hollywood. And
I don't have a support system. I don't have a support system of a peer group of artists that I require to do what I'm doing. I've had to be on my own from the beginning. So I don't necessarily have a responsibility to behave a certain way according to them. You know, and look, if I didn't have an award-winning director doing it, if I hadn't put the right people in place to produce it properly, I would understand why they would question or doubt anything that I'm doing. But you go to the 90s, and Keefy D said he paid him to kill Tupac.
Yeah. Did he do it, right?
Yeah.
I know you've been heavy on social media talking about it.
He did it. And I'm the only one who's been vocal about this long before it actually.
Oh, you've been saying this for a long time now. And then no one was, they're just, why is he saying this? And now it's coming out like crazy. I mean,
but I also didn't participate. I also didn't go to those parties.
Yeah.
So a lot of the celebrity culture that you don't hear saying anything is because they participated to a degree.
But was there a reason you never went to those parties back in the day? Obviously, I know what was going on there, but is there a reason you never did?
I'm just not with all that freaky shit. Like all of the stuff that he's doing, I'm not into that type of stuff. I'm just a little more, maybe you could say basic or normal.
So it's not like he hate Diddy, but you know, sometimes they might do shit that we don't know about.
Well, for him to make the documentary, I think he hates Diddy.
Nah.
Nah?
That's business.
That's just business?
Business. You wouldn't be mad. Look,
you gotta really dislike someone to do a documentary about him.
If Jimmy Iovine did the documentary.
50 Cent's shots at Diddy are nothing new. He's launched them on stage across social media, and now he's doubling down on every word. People say I'm being outrageous, he says, but I've been saying this for 10 years with the spotlight now locked on Diddy. 50 shows no signs of backing off. This isn't my lane, never has been, he adds, making it crystal clear he's always stayed far from that scene. To him, this isn't about beef or gossip. It's the truth finally catching up and the masks starting to fall.
Boy Entertainment. I named it Bad Boy because I wanted to go against the grain. Anytime you go against the grain, they consider you like kind of bad. Nothing negative, nothing like hardcore. Just, I didn't want to be regular. I didn't want to just make records. I didn't want to just make money. I wanted to make history. And that's all it's ever been about for me, making history. And making music that's timeless. Music that's gonna be around when I'm not here, when my kids ain't here. Music that is that good. And having artists and videos and things that, you know, really affect way of life in a positive way. Affect style, fashion, music. Bad.
Diddy didn't just throw parties, he built a multi-million-dollar empire, Bad Boy Records, Revolt TV, Shrek, Dillian Tequila fashion film, and more. His influence was rooted in a celebrity network where a nod from Jay-Z or Beyonce meant instant status. But now that same web of connections could be under fire. 50 Cent's legal filings threatened to uncover contracts, wire transfers, and email chains, revealing exactly how the money flowed, who got paid, and who turned a blind eye. The empire that once thrived on power and image might soon be stripped bare by hard evidence.
Michael Rubin's all-white party, the real all-white party was Diddy.
Hey, everybody know ain't no party like a Diddy party, so.
Yeah, that's what's up.
These started in the late 90s and continued on for a very long time. Now I'm going to show you an announcement of him at the party, and he says at a certain hour the kids have to go home. But before I do that, take a look at all of these celebrities who attended these parties. I'm not saying the people who attended these parties are guilty of anything. I just want you to know how highly these parties were regarded. We are talking the highest names in every industry. What happens at these parties, I have no idea. You may have seen the clip of Keeping Up with the Kardashians where they talk about it a little bit, which is absolutely wild, but generally no phones were allowed, so good luck finding clips of the parties. But watch this clip.
It's a legendary white party. It's the real white party. And to all the kids have like an hour left. So get extra comfortable, kids.
So all the leaked footage of Diddy parties right now is going viral, and here's one clip. I mean, there's nothing wrong with this, right? Nothing crazy is happening. But why would they have anything crazy happening with cameras everywhere, right? Like, they're smarter than that. But there you guys go. More footage is going viral.
Diddy once ruled Hollywood nightlife. His white parties were the stuff of legend, champagne, flowing stars, dancing, and designer, Fitz, Beyonce, Jay's, Ashton Kutcher, all under one roof. Those invites were more than exclusive, they were currency. But now that glittering guest list might become a courtroom roll call, 50 Cent is ready to expose every link tracing how celebrity power fueled Diddy's empire. Behind the glamour, the documents may uncover who was involved and which star will break first when their name shows up in black and white.
I met Puff, I was afraid of success, afraid to do anything that could put so much attention on me. And then when I met him, he was the complete opposite. And he was such a good thing for me because I needed what he had. And so his ambition pushed me to be ambitious because I didn't know how, because, you know, when you come from where I come from, you're scared to be ambitious. You're scared to want more. And so when I met Puff, I was, you know, blown away. But it took some years to grow into that and accepting someone that just was so excited about being seen and about having, the lights on them and wanted it for you more than you wanted it for yourself. So, I mean, Puff was a huge inspiration to me.
I want you guys to know, man, it was a terrible thing when we found out that Mary J. Blige's tape came out. You not remember a time, man, when she was with KC from Jodeci, and they were, on drugs, and KC used to put them hands on Mary J. Blige. So back in the day when her freak tape came out, Mary J. Blige even said herself, this was her rite of passage. Guys, I'm born and raised in Las Vegas, and I remember the day. Man, she had a concert out here in Las Vegas, and she was so high, she was like, hey, how you doing tonight, Los Angeles? But we was in Las Vegas. But Mary J., as you remember, man, she wasn't the finest thing when she got on the scene. Mouth kind of twisted off to the side. She wasn't the best looking thing. They found her singing karaoke, some Anita Baker karaoke in the mall, and they dusted her up, polished her up, and Angie Stone started writing for her, and she became who she was. But she definitely was a part of these parties, and she has no regrets.
The gate, y'all remember the second album, but Usher does have a first album that's a classic that I executive produced. But most importantly, that's how he became my brother. And to see the way you grow, you have grown, and to see you get better with your craft, and to see the man that you've turned into and the consciousness that you have. I know you've been speaking to Harry Belafonte because you hooked me up with speaking to Harry Belafonte. So your consciousness, has really, really been a shining example. And the way you just spoken and articulated yourself, imagine me having guardianship for you at 13, and then now you speaking the way that you speaking, It's like, I'm so proud of you.
Don't hit me no more. Kick in the door, waving the 4-4. All you heard was Papa, don't hit me no more. Let's go. Kick in the door, waving the 4-4. Hey, hey.
It's P. Sean, Daddy, Brother, Puff, Love, Diddy, Combs, or whatever the hell his name is now. We stopped trying to keep track. Celebrating his big 5-0 with some Elaine from Seinfeld moves at a gigantic party at his house. And everybody was there.
The biggest names that were there, Kim and Kanye, Jay-Z and Beyonce.
Is that the order that you want to do that in?
Seriously, you forgot Dougie Fresh, who was also there. He should come first.
The biggest part of the whole night was the fact that Jay-Z and Kanye actually shook hands. They squashed their beef, or at least for that night. Diddy's smiling like, look, I made this happen.
Oh yeah, it was all you, Diddy. Maybe a little help from all the CBD products and Ciroc alcohol that was floating around, but otherwise, all you.
Who else was there?
Who wasn't? Well, maybe not Steve Harvey, because Diddy was banging his daughter. But how about Cardi B and Offset, Kevin Hart, Kobe Bryant, and Post Malone?
Yes, it's true. You remind me of my love and how to do. I'ma take you back to the red zone. To the red zone. They need to understand. Everyone's got to make it. Here we go.
Rapper Jay-Z is denying an allegation that he and Sean Diddy Combs raped a 13-year-old girl.
Yeah, an anonymous accuser identified only as Jane Doe made the accusation in a civil lawsuit on Sunday. It alleges that the assault happened after she was driven to an MTV Video Music Awards after party back in 2000. In a statement to NBC News, Jay-Z, whose real name is Sean Carter, called the accusation idiotic, adding, quote, "These allegations are so heinous in nature that I implore you to file a criminal complaint, not a civil one. Whomever should commit such a crime against a minor should be locked away. Would you not agree?" Attorneys representing Combs also dismissed the lawsuit, calling it a shameless publicity stunt. Combs is currently behind bars at Brooklyn's Metropolitan Detention Center after federal prosecutors charged him in September with racketeering.
You've been to some crazy parties, I'm sure. What's the strangest interaction you've had at a party that was like, what's happening right now?
I remember I was lit and I just started dancing with Paris Hilton. I was like, this is kind of crazy.
That is kind of nuts. What song was playing?
I don't even know. It was one of those nights.
Yeah, okay.
I've worked too hard in life. Not even Diddy's bitch. Diddy's new to me, right? He looked after me. He took me on an enforced holiday to Vegas. He's a very intense man because I think he come from nothing and now he's very, very powerful. People that do stuff like that, they're intense.
Mila Kunis on that 70s show, then they break up for absolutely no reason after he starts hanging out with Diddy. Then he marries Demi Moore, who drained him of all the adrenochrome she can, and apparently he replenished himself by doing inappropriate things with their daughters.
Together, it was there, you know what I'm saying? That's why I don't know how they fell out or nothing like that. They was road dogs, you know what I'm saying? They even got pictures of them. He got on that blue sweater with the turtleneck, him and him hugged up like this with the black hat. Have you ever seen that picture?
Nah, I don't recall, but I'm pretty sure I came across it.
Yeah. That picture there, they was at that party that day. Yeah, it's just like a bunch of weird shit. That whole that's weird, dude. Yeah, bunch of, it ain't right. You know what I'm saying? I'm not no gay basher or none. I mean, none of that shit, but that shit ain't right. You know what I'm saying? That whole party was weirdoed out. Yeah, and it was Jada Pinkett.
Violence of certain individuals like LeBron James is quite deafening. A person who claims to care so much about Black life, Black Lives Matter, on the ground, taking a kneel. Okay, that's fine. But now you have a friend of yours who has been on camera beating a Black woman. Okay, you said nothing when that happened. You also know that you have various Black people speaking out about how they were abused by him, and you have said nothing. So I don't like the hypocrisy behind that. It might be a good time to use your platform. I'm calling out the hypocrisy and the double standard of that. If LeBron James had kept his mouth shut on every other issue and said nothing, I wouldn't be like, hey, why is LeBron James being quiet on this issue? I'd say he doesn't typically weigh in on anything, so it wouldn't make sense to put pressure on him to do it. The exact opposite. I'm saying keep the exact same energy that you have had on every other Black issue when it comes to your door and it pertains to a friend of yours that you were partying with. I think that's pretty sensible.
Watch this at a charity event. Look what he does with David Beckham. He offers $150,000 for this event, and you have to see what he says at the end. Go ahead, Rob.
Okay. Being that I don't spend a lot of time here and I don't really know the crowd, if you win, you get your choice of one of the other. Choice A is a weekend at my house in the Hamptons, fully staffed on the water, East Hampton, New York. Number 2 is a studio session with me in New York or London. I'll produce a record for you or your kids. Or number 3 is a night out with Diddy, Saturday night in New York. And I promise you, your ass will wake up Wednesday laying beside me.
This is some of the stuff that's going to be revealed, and these are nothing. These are just signs, right? But if anything leaks with celebrity names that all of a sudden comes out,
Mr. Wayne Rooney. Me and you, Wayne. Me and you, baby. Yeah. It's a showbiz marriage made in heaven. Me and you, Wayne. Wayne, I'll give you all 3 if you up it. I'll give you all 3.
2 people for 150.
2 people for 150.
Yeah, you can bring the whole.
Music legends like Mary J. Blige and Usher owe key moments in their rise to Diddy, from producing Mary's early hits to housing a young Usher. In '94, those bonds ran deep, but now those connections could face intense scrutiny. Mary's cryptic March post about burning bridges sparked speculation. Was it aimed at Diddy? Both artists have stayed silent.